Yeah, the QAS program has been very helpful in helping develop both coaches and swimmers. The QAS conduct a number of seminars and workshops throughout the course of the year that are very well attended by a lot of the top coaches throughout Queensland. And also the swimmers, we get together on the odd occasion and have small little camps or little workshops for the swimmers as well. At the start of the year we took swimmers down to the New South Wales Championships, which was an ideal lead-in to the Australian Championships that followed about 4 weeks later. It's very important from a swimming viewpoint that swimmers are given the opportunity to get some race practice in, and the QAS have been very good in providing accommodation and airfares and those sorts of things to help get our swimmers down to meets like the New South Wales Championships and for them to compete against the very best swimmers in Australia. Just really resumed training. We had our trials 2 weeks ago. On the back of those trials we had a training camp for the Australian team that went for about 6 days, and really we've just started back this week, with a view in mind of getting the kids to peak and perform well in Barcelona at the World Championships. Being the first year after London, generally speaking the standard is normally not that great at the World Championships, but we're not paying too much attention to that. We're gearing up and trying to prepare our swimmers as best we can for some good performances there. Of good breakthroughs, people that had been off the team are now back on the team, which I think is a real positive. There was also another team picked to go away. They call it Australia A, which is really like a second Australia team. They're going over to a meet in Irvine, California. That's taking place a couple of weeks before the World Championships. There's a number of QAS athletes on that one. We've also got representation, very good representation on the World University Games. They're over in Russia. They're taking place in about 8 weeks' time, so they're coming up very, very soon. And the last team that was picked was the World Youth Championships. We've got a number of our good up-and-coming young age group swimmers that aren't quite on the target squad at the moment, but they're in the underpinning group. And if they perform well at the World Championships that are over in Doha a little bit later in the year, hopefully they'll be on the target squad as well. And really fortunate to have some great service from the QAS. We have normally Megan Anderson comes out to our program on a weekly basis and does a lot of work with our guys. She does lactate testing on the swimmers, which I find very beneficial from about halfway through the season onwards. The kids all look forward to having Megan come out and help measure lactate, so we're getting a very good idea of where they are with their training. Megan also contributes well to our program in the fact she does a lot of skin fold testing on our male and female swimmers, so we can see how they're progressing, how they're moving with that. Megan's also helped organise the swimmers in recent times to do DEXA scanning, which I think has been very, very beneficial through the University of Queensland. It's been great to get that information. It's real cutting edge stuff, and I think it's made a real difference. Also, we use the QAS facility for our strength conditioning. Michael Davies does a lot of work with our swimmers in that regard, and Michael also has contact with a lot of our junior swimmers, our up-and-coming swimmers who aren't quite on target squad at the moment, but they're really just in that underpinning group below the QAS. And I think it's great that we're able to use the expertise of people like Megan and Michael to help contribute to the program that we've got. A lot of the major competitions are usually taking place for us in the Northern Hemisphere, which is summer, so we've got to prepare in the winter. So we'll get that 1 to 2 weeks of warm weather coming into the World Championships, so the kids are looking forward to going over to Thailand and perhaps doing a training camp over there, and then doing a week's training camp with the whole Australian team just prior to the World Championships. Then after that meet they'll take a small little break. Then some of the group will be working towards the Australian Short Course Championships, which is down in Sydney, maybe 3 weeks after the World Championships. Then they'll take a little bit of a break, maybe a week off, can't give them too much time out of the water. And then we'll be gearing up for the Queensland Championships, which are in December. We've got a very big year taking place next year. We've got 2 major international competitions, the Commonwealth Games, which is probably the benchmark event for us, and there's also the Pan Pacs are taking place on the Gold Coast. So it's going to be great, Queensland hosting a Pan Pacs. We haven't done that for a while, so I think that's going to really bring the best out of our swimmers. And the Commonwealth Games, of course, is always an opportunity to get in amongst the Canadians, New Zealanders and the Brits to see who's the champion of the Commonwealth. So we're looking forward to a great season next season as well.